Okay, so I thought that I would just tell you guys a little bit about my weight loss transition story. I lost about 100 pounds, believe it or not, and about 40 pounds of that, I don't really know how it happened. Pull it together, bitch. Alright. So, I was always the fat girl. At age 3, I was probably considered overweight for my age. I wasn't that big or anything, but I definitely wasn't as skinny as everyone else in my town. I was the fat girl in gymnastics. I was the fat girl in dance class. I was the fat girl in school. I didn't see anything wrong with it, really, because I was fine. I mean, I was active. I just gained weight because I probably didn't eat the best foods. Nothing against my parents. I don't blame it on them. I think that I just really liked candy and cookies and pasta, you know? In elementary school, I was diagnosed with leukemia, which kind of freaked the people out in my grade because they were used to seeing me very obese for my age and my height. I was admitted into the hospital for about a year at that point. And when I came out of the hospital, it was about like the end of 5th grade or so. I went in like 4th grade, the beginning of 4th grade. So I came back and I was considered like medically anorexic. That's what I call it, because that's pretty much what the doctors called it. I couldn't eat, I couldn't keep food in. It's not that I didn't want to eat, it was the fact that my body was not putting on weight because of the intensive treatments that I was undergoing. The kids in my grade and my class were very rude to me about this, and they would push me into lockers and make fun of me and poke me. I bruised very easily and my bones could shatter if I was pushed too hard. The kids in my grade, in my town, in my class were not nice people, and they didn't see anything wrong with their actions even when I would call them out for it. The beginning of 6th grade, I was still like 70 pounds, and then by the end of 6th grade, I was about 95 pounds. And it wasn't really weight, it was more so because I was on steroids for my treatments, and it was making me blow up like an Oompa Loompa. So that was a damn mess. And then by 8th grade, I gained even more weight because I was beginning to develop depression pretty bad at that point, but also because of the chemo that was still in my system very heavily. I was 1 year off of chemo, something like that. And I was still very overweight because of that. I remember being teased with our graduation gowns before we actually graduated, which I didn't graduate, I had the swine flu. But yeah, a teacher was like saying some rude shit about my weight, and I remember just being like, I had fucking leukemia, what do you want from me, people? High school rolled around and I was about 150 pounds, and then by sophomore year I was about 210. So it was a pretty big change. I was very depressed. There was parents' divorce, which was, I mean, I'm happy they got divorced. It was the process that was not a good process. My brother was dealing with things. My sister was away at college. I was alone a lot of the time because my mom was in court a lot, so I was alone, and I really got into my head. I've always been an introvert. I've always been individualistic. I was never someone that kind of wanted to be part of the group or wanted to fit in. That's just not my personality. So I was alone a lot, and sometimes it didn't bother me, other times it was awful for my depression. Okay, so then by like junior year I was about 245, 250 pounds. And I went to a concert, and it gave me kind of this like spiritual awakening to look at myself and see what everyone else is starting to see, that I am chronically depressed and I really need to work on my health both mentally and physically. And I did. I lost a lot of weight, and then by graduation I was about 190 pounds. So that was kind of cool. The problem that came about was I lost more weight. So by the time I went back to college, I was like 180 pounds, and I was getting teased still and ridiculed in college. I was very insecure and in a lot of emotional pain. To be, you know, made fun of and shit on was not helping the matter. So I took a year off from school. I lost more weight. I went from like 180 or whatever to 170, and then like 165. But then I rapidly, last August, started gaining weight, and I didn't know why. I would eat like one thing and I would put on 3 or 4 pounds. It was very scary, and at the same time I would be continuously getting sick in the bathroom. I decided to stop eating gluten, and that seemed to have helped. And then I got kidney stones a few months later, so I was 175 pounds at that point. And then by January, I was about 160 because I wasn't eating, because I was in so much goddamn pain. I started getting violently ill again in the bathroom, and I thought, okay, so maybe it isn't gluten and it's something else, which it very well could be. I lost a lot of weight. I started losing a lot of weight in March because I could not keep any food in my system, and sometimes I still can't keep any food in my system. So I went from 175, like 150 for a bit, and now I'm 140, and I don't really know why, except for the fact that I was so ill for a while. So I guess that I dropped, 35 pounds or so, which we're trying to figure out why this is happening. We don't really know. So that's my inspirational weight loss story. It's really not inspirational whatsoever. But I thought that I would tell you guys so you would have something to relate to, kind of, I guess. I will make a new video for Tuesday or Thursday. I think that's gonna be like my uploading days. And I will talk to you soon. Please like, subscribe, and share with your buddies. I love you. Okay. Bye.